Why your circle matters. Oh, today is kind of a big topic, but I want to talk today about toxic people. You know the saying about the average, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Well, there are behaviors and mindsets and energy that everybody gives off. And those are very, very contagious. Have you ever felt yourself talking to a friend, or you've talked to a friend for a while, they're a good friend, you talk to them all the time, and then you start kind of saying this repetitive sentence that they always say, or this word, you start finding yourself using this word that they use? Well, this this is kind of like the thing that we pick up by default. We start doing by default, and that's why your circle matters so much. Who you spend the most time with around you. When we're working on inner growth and going inward, it's so key to be noticing who we're spending time with. What kind of language other people are using? Is this person uplifting me or pulling me down? When I use the word toxic people, that doesn't mean bad people. But what it means is they can still harm your growth. Because what happens is we get emotionally exhausted being around people that drain our energy. And we can't maintain that all the time. It creates a whole bunch of like clutter in our mind, like mental clutter. And we start kind of hearing conversations, overthinking. Maybe they're giving us a little self-doubt, creating stress in our life, and it actually creates a physical impact on the human body. Chronic stress negatively affects your health in so many ways. Sleeping, especially if you're around someone extremely negative, because you can lay in bed and loop and loop and loop on things that somebody said, or it's like a chronic negativity cycle, keeping you from sleeping. It affects your whole nervous system, your body. It's not healthy. And it also wastes our own time. When you're around somebody that's not contributing to your life and is tearing you down or isn't contributing in any way and just creates stress in your life in some way, that's an opportunity for you to use your self-awareness and ask yourself, is this the right person for me to have in my life? What is it costing you? Because when you're entertaining people that are behaving in these ways, you're not reaching your goals. They're keeping you stuck. They're keeping you back into those negative mindset, pulling you back in, trying to bring you into their own party that they're having in their mind. And we're not always happy, and nobody's perfect, and everybody has to be negative sometimes, and it's just a human nature, and that's okay. But what I'm referring to is the circle of people that you continually surround yourself with. We want to create some distance with those people that aren't helping us, that are creating stress in our life, giving us anxiety, creating some distance, freeing ourselves a little bit. And I know sometimes it's harder, it's easier said than done because maybe they're family members, but that's where the thought about distancing comes from. So, signs to look out for: people constantly negative and complaining. Everything is negative. Life is negative. Everything is negative. There's nothing going for them. This isn't about supporting and encouraging people who are stuck or are dealing with grief or are in a place where they're struggling to get back out of things. This is people that are generally toxic. This isn't about abandoning people who need your support. And it's not always about bending over backwards either to do everything for everybody else. But people who manipulate you, people who guilt trip you, people who have no accountability for their own self, who don't take 100% responsibility of their life and blame other people, people who are constantly overstepping their boundaries. This is what I'm talking about, toxic people. And sometimes this starts becoming a normal way of thinking. We start thinking that sometimes these relationships can feel normal because of conditioning, or this is the way that we were raised, or this is kind of what I've been around my whole life, so I don't know anything different. And Maybe you can see yourself saying or picking up on these kinds of things, just like your friend that says certain things that you pick up on by default. We pick up on these negative behaviors from people that we don't really want to be like. They're the opposite of what we want to be around. And yet we find ourselves talking like them and having similar thoughts and speaking this stuff when it's not really our truth, it's their truth. And so we need to kind of identify these different patterns within our relationships. We need to look at our life and notice who leaves us feeling drained after we've come in contact with them, or who is discouraging us of our dreams or belittling us or not seeing any of our achievements and not seeing the good in things. Notice who inspires you in your life, who uplifts you, who helps you grow. Who are those people? When we slowly start removing toxicity from our life, we create space for healthy, better relationships. Letting go of some of these people or distancing ourselves is not about being judgmental. It's about protecting our own peace. It's about self-preservation and growth. And I know it's hard to let go sometimes because we don't want to hurt other people, and we feel obligated because of family ties, and we don't want to be alone, and we don't want to be judged. And I know it's hard to let go, but your energy and your peace are worth it, even if you have to do it in baby steps. So I want you to think about what happens when you let go. When you let go of that in your life and you're protecting your own inner sanctuary and your peace, you will see that you have so much more energy and clarity, and you'll feel so much more confident and have a higher self-worth. And not only that, but you'll have more bandwidth in your mind to be able to focus on your goals and the people that love you and the relationships that uplift you and support you. And that's what's so important with all of this. So how do we attract these kinds of the right people in our life, the ones that support us? Well, think about becoming the kind of person that you want to attract. That is like huge. Joining communities and groups and networking with people that are like-minded, same kind of goals, same kind of values in life. We want to attract people that respect our boundaries. But first, we have to respect our boundaries because we are a mirror and a reflection. And so we're attracting the kind of people that we sometimes are or have been in our life. And we may need to have better boundaries. We may need to have better communication. When we show up authentically and encourage other people, that's who we're going to attract. When we celebrate each other instead of being competitive or jealous or envious, that's who we're going to attract. Beautiful people, beautiful relationships, and exactly people who have that growth mindset and who are inspiring and motivating each other. And I think that is the part that is missing, is as we become that person we want to attract, those people will come and the other ones will slowly fall off. I think it's important too to recognize when to walk away. When we put in boundaries and they are still not enough, that is a sign to walk away, to cut ties. And that is so hard and difficult, but there is a way of doing that by gradually reducing contact. Sometimes we have to do something even harder by having a direct conversation with this person. We can also limit our emotional engagement in all of these toxic interactions and start seeing and noticing the people that are really lifting us up. And because, like I said, we're a mirror and we're a reflection. So it's important also to think about healing after we let go, and not, because sometimes there's grief and guilt or loneliness of letting somebody go, that they might have been toxic in our life, but they were still in our life, and now there's a hole. And we need to focus on self-care and self-compassion in these times, and know that it's okay to have the void. It's okay to have a safe, empty space of stillness, because there's so much beauty in stillness and so many lessons. There's creative flow. There's intuitive hits. We're silent long enough to hear the whispers of our intuition. And that is so powerful. What's more important than feeling guilty and resenting other people is, to me, is living unapologetically. Give yourself permission to prioritize your own well-being and dreams, and be friends with people that are doing the same. Step into your power, because that's what inspires other people to do the same. They will be attracted to you when you're stepping in your power. That is the kind of person you're going to attract. And when you shine, you're giving permission for other people to shine. Lead by example. Lead by example. That's huge. Your circle is one of the most powerful influences in your life, and the people you surround yourself will either hold you back or lift you higher. And when you start removing toxicity and setting boundaries and intentionally building friends and a powerful group of people around you that is safe, you're creating room for growth and safety and fulfillment and joy and happiness. And if you don't have that, come and join our Create, Heal, Shine community, because that's what we're all about. We prioritize growth and healing and authentic connections. You do not have to do this alone. It's a circle of empowered people who are focused on growth and not toxicity, lifting each other up and motivating and inspiring people through the hard times, but also encouraging people that are stuck and working through that. So just going back to who you surround yourself with, think about the 5 people that you do surround yourself with and ask yourself, who is lifting you up and empowering you? And where might there be time to kind of slowly reduce the time that you spend with certain people, or replace certain individuals, or allow yourself to have some space and don't even replace them. And remember, it's important who influences your life. That can hinder or propel you in the direction of your dreams.